Welcome to VSM TV. This is Carol Roy live at Citrix Synergy 2010, and I have the great privilege of having with me the VMLogix CEO, Sameer Dholakia. How are you, Sameer?
I'm great, Carol. Thank you for stopping by.
Oh, my pleasure. Absolutely. I'm glad I could steal you away from all of your meetings. You guys made some announcements today. Let's talk about it. Tell me.
Very exciting announcement today around the cloud. So there's a
hot topic.
Hot topic. Citrix Cloud Solutions were announced today by Citrix. One of those workloads that they are enabling on top of their cloud providers is development and test. We already have a terrific relationship with Citrix. They OEM our lab management technology, and it's actually white labeled, so it's called Citrix Lab Manager in their Platinum Edition. And so this is sort of a natural extension of that, taking our lab technology and enabling it on top of the Carpathia cloud. Carpathia is one of the largest hosting providers in the country. They are, I believe, the #2 provider to the federal government. And they and Citrix and VMLogix all agree that development and test is a terrific candidate workload to move from on-premise to the cloud. It's a great place to get started, and so we've enabled the Instant On Virtual Lab, is what the offering is called, at Carpathia.
Now, where do you see this announcement taking you when it comes to other cloud providers and other pieces of the industry?
Absolutely. No, and VMLogix has always been and taken a agnostic approach. First with virtualization hypervisors, where our technology, when it worked on VMware and then on Citrix XenServer, we support Microsoft Hyper-V. And the same is now true in the cloud. The first cloud deployment we did of our Lab Manager Cloud Edition was on top of Amazon Web Services Cloud. The Carpathia Cloud is the second. You'll likely see some announcements coming from us around the IBM Cloud and a few others later this year. But it's very much going to be taking this technology and putting it out on as many clouds as possible. We'd love to see 1,000 clouds bloom, so to speak.
Well, I don't know that you have to wait too long to seeing that happen. Now, the cloud phenomenon is tremendous.
Yes.
And you guys are really taking full advantage of that. From your perspective, what trends are you seeing, and what kind of expectations can people have for moving to the cloud?
I think there's a lot of excitement around the public cloud. Obviously gets a lot of discussion. There's now, I think, a next wave of conversation around the private cloud and how do I take some of the best attributes of the public cloud and bring them to my on-premise data center. And I think now the next generation of conversation around that is the hybrid cloud, and how do I attach and leverage the public cloud infrastructure as a logical extension of my on-premise capability. VMLogix has embraced that vision from the get-go, and so we have 3 versions of our software, one of which is a standard edition that runs on-premise, our cloud edition, which, as I said, runs on Amazon Web Services and now on Carpathia's cloud, and we have a hybrid cloud edition, which allows you from a single pane of glass to manage across both that on-premise and out in the public cloud. And I think that's where we see things going. We really do believe that development and test is going to be one of the leading workloads to help enterprises dip their toe in the water, so to speak, with the public cloud, and frankly with private clouds on premise if they decide to do it there. But it's a great profile of a workload because it tends to be low risk. It's with your best and brightest engineers. You know, the developers and testers themselves that are using it are the ones that love to do this stuff. And there's just a huge ROI opportunity because there's so much infrastructure dedicated to development and testing that most folks don't actually know about or appreciate. There are as many servers pre-production as there are in production, and so there's a huge ROI opportunity there.
Now, you guys are being very proactive in allowing, any glitches to happen in a dev test environment rather than in a production environment. I think that's a real cornerstone for your business and why you guys are finding such success. So kudos to you for keeping that in mind. I think that's huge. That and the flexibility of what your product does. You mentioned that it's agnostic and really can work with anything. So I think that's going to be definitely an attention getter for you guys.
We sure hope so.
Absolutely. Sameer, thanks so much for spending time with us today on VSM.
Thank you so much, Carol. We appreciate it.
You got it.
Take care.